216 songs by The Weeknd, and I'll be ranking every single one in this video. From his early mixtapes to his record-breaking albums, The Weeknd has evolved from an underground mystery to the second coming of this generation's Michael Jackson, blending R&B and synth pop with cinematic storytelling. He's become one of the most influential and impactful artists of all time. In this video, I'll be ranking his music into 5 categories: bad, mid, good, great, and finally, perfect, with each having their own animated section representing a color and Easter egg tracks for each section, all while giving a deep dive into his discography. This includes almost everything, not just what's on streaming platforms, even songs before the trilogy. I also include collab releases and features if Abel contributed enough to the tracks, and no remixes or leaks will be on this list. Mind you, The Weeknd is my 3rd favorite artist of all time, so I'm definitely way more passionate about this ranking, but you will not agree with my list because it's my ranking. So when you have your own opinions, drop them down below so I can disagree with you. But now let's get into it, starting with the worst of the worst. Defame Moi just repeats Leave Me Alone over and over on a Mike Dean production. The Weeknd ends up referencing his show The Idol with the line, "I guess I'm the bad guy, I can be the bad," before it cuts off. I tried watching The Idol when it dropped, it's terrible, and I actually decided to rewatch and finish the show for this video, and somehow it got worse. I do not recommend the show, and as you can tell, this song is pretty ass. Wild Love have potential, but the production just sounds wrong from start to finish. The only thing you can appreciate is Abel's vocals. Maybe I can play a role play. I can tell you're the Another one of me. Abel carried, and it was originally a Kissland throwaway. Then these verses got added and everyone sounds ass. And hearing a verse from a certain someone makes me just not want to listen to the track altogether. I can't even believe a single word he says. The Lore. Mike Dean instrumental. I'm ranking The Weeknd. I do not care. I Can't Fucking Sing. A skit that directly references the voice crack incident at SoFi Stadium when he was trying to sing the song Alone Again. Until We're Skin and Bones. Yeah, don't worry, none of these skits will be part of the project rankings I'll do at the end of the video.
And your phantom regret hasn't let it go yet.
Phantom Regret by Jim. Jim Carrey, big part of Don FM. Him and The Weeknd are good friends.
Long lasting which I didn't fully understand until much.
A Tale by Quincy. Quincy Jones reflects on his troubled past and his impact on relationships, which sets up the up and coming songs on Don FM. These aren't songs, so they just fill up the bad section for me. Poison. Aaliyah's vocals just sound like an acapella downloaded off YouTube, put over a horribly mixed beat. The mixing is pretty bad here, even with Abel's vocals. La Fama. The Rosalia hate continues. Bad section on my Travis ranking, the Billy ranking, and now this ranking. I like some Latin music like I've said, but she just sounds painfully bland to me. Secrets. No, this is not the Secrets of Starboy, but from Junior High's debut mixtape, which features vocals by Childish Gambino and The Weeknd, and somehow having less than 4 million streams. Every Angel is Terrifying. Expresses the album's theme, even using the movie Afterlife for comparison. Dollhouse. Might be a harsh ranking. Dollhouse was used in the last episode of the freaky show called The Idol. Got a couple villains who can make Drinks on Us. Sex, money, drugs, alcohol, rockstar lifestyle. Yeah, probably the most bland attempt at a hit record, and it shows with the views. Future carried. The Weeknd was definitely a huge improvement from Sway Lee, though the hook was not for him. Family. Interlude song from the Idol soundtrack, has a weird atmosphere to it. The production kind of reminds me of the song The Knowing, but in a dollar store version. A Lesser Man. Track was teased as a surprise performance in Denmark as part of the second long of The Weeknd's After Hours Till Dawn tour. A lot of these Idol tracks are very bland. K-pop. More K-pop hate. Let's go. This was in the bad section of my Travis ranking, and it's still bad. It's basically a Bad Bunny song. K-pop means ketamine pop, which The Weeknd likes to get high off of. And what the fuck is The Weeknd doing right here? Here we go again. I don't like Tyler the Creator's music. I just recently listened to Flower Boy for the first time, and I have not came back to the project since. I know this is a hot take, I just don't like Tyler the Creator. Girls really love me like a motherfucking 6-pack. A Lie. Originally recorded in 2009, but since Max B got locked up for 8 years, they released it after his release from jail. Abel looks so chopped in this video. Gun to your head, name 5 solo French Montana songs. Don FM. Jim Carrey introduced you to Don FM. Artificial intelligence. Abel references that he's sure that AI can never recreate what he does. Also addressing the controversy of the time when an AI generated song from The Weeknd and Drake was unofficially released and went viral. The track just doesn't sound good to listen to, and that's why I have it in bad. That's every song for the bad section. I'm curious to see if some of you are already upset, but now we're moving on to the tracks I consider mid. What You Want. Corny ass Kids Bop song. Belly sounds like someone who is industry pushed but doesn't have the music capability to sound remotely good, even with good production. The Weeknd doesn't add anything either to the vocals. I had a girl named Mercedes, used to love it when she bends. No. In the Mood. First track from the Noise EP from 2009. The Weeknd used to have an alter ego this early, which he named Kane. Track is very messy, but that's to be expected. Also got some of his corniest lyrics. Stargirl interlude. The internet really ruined this dumb interlude for me. It would have been in bad section, but Abel's vocals at the end saved it. Thought I Knew You. Nicki and Abel talk about their relationship controversies at the time. The instrumental's kind of fun. Cure. Basic love song from The Noise. Life of the Party. Ooh, I know there's a fan base for this song, so they're probably not too happy. To be very clear, the trilogy is my favorite album of all time, not just by The Weeknd, but in general. Here in the story, Abel is pursuing a rich girl who loves cocaine. Meanwhile, the girl from Lonely Star thinks about Abel at home, waiting for Thursday to come. The girl that's present throughout Thursday is actually Abel's voice, but it's just pitched up. Always Be My Fault. Even though I'm not crazy on the song, I personally like this album more than We Don't Trust You. Had it in one of my favorite albums of the year lists. A Lonely Night. This track sounds very similar to the song Something Got Me Started by Simply Red. Wake Up. This was actually in the good section for my Travis ranking, but looking back, I think it deserved a lower spot. Plus, since this is a ranking on The Weeknd, it's definitely influenced my decision to place it lower. Pulling Up. Abel's vocals are really good. The lyrics in Diddy's X, I don't really care for. Losers. The first line is, only losers go to school. For those who don't know, Abel made a bold decision to drop out of high school at 17. He left home along with his day one best friend, Lamar Taylor.
Lamar Taylor, my best friend, I convinced him to drop out of high school with me. Now he's my creative director, and I hope there's no regrets at this point, so.
Nocturnal. I can see people really liking the sound, especially if there's a fan of this type of electronical music. It's just not for me. Ordinary Life. Heaven in Her Mouth, got a hell of a tongue. I can feel her teeth when I drive on a bump. Fingers letting go of the wheel when I come. No, no, no. But in all seriousness, the track hints at Abel selling his soul from all of his newfound success. Best Friends. Perhaps relatable? Dark Times. Ed Sheeran and The Weeknd don't really work. I never really like Ed Sheeran's music anyways. Like a God. First previewed on IG as well as False Idols. Track is used to portray the background story of Jocelyn and Tetros in The Idol, but it's not worth explaining. If you haven't seen The Idol, still, I don't recommend watching it. Over Now. From my past rankings, I don't think I'm big on Calvin Harris, to be honest. The video is fun. The track was previewed on a TikTok live concert during COVID, as well as being teased by Abel. I just took that chick and I know you feeling some way. Both artists throw sneak jabs at Justin Bieber, who mocked The Weeknd's single Starboy, calling Abel's music whack during an Instagram live stream at the 2017 Grammy Awards.
Favorite song at the moment? Starboy by The Weeknd. Oh, That was funny.
The most obvious diss comes at the end of the Weeknd's verse. I think your girl, fell in love with me. She say my fuck and my tongue game a remedy, which is clearly talking about Selena Gomez.
I'm a virgin.
The Weeknd's darkest secret. The Weeknd voiced himself in American Dad, where the character Haley wants to sleep with him.
Right now, I'm using my virgin power to win Grammys. But if my calculations are correct, soon my nutsack will be a time machine. I'm trying to fuck with dinosaurs.
I feel dirty. I put a virgin at the top of my freebie list.
The song's hilarious and somehow it's catchy, but I'm ranking it low. Putting it above anything else feels disrespectful. I already know I'm getting comments, bro, you put this song over Lonely Night? I had it higher, I just had to put it down. Secretly, it's in good section because it's catchy, but I'm putting it here. Don't Break My Heart. A lot of the lyrics throw similarities to the tracks off Starboy. Nothing is Lost. For the sequel for Avatar called The Way of Water. The movie's long as hell, but the visuals are incredible. It even features Lil Mosey. Sacrifice. Track was used for WWE's WrestleMania 38. Clearly hearing a lot of MJ influence like always. The guitar riffs remind me of MJ's song Wouldn't Be Starting Something. Take Me Back. Performed a day before release, apparently the track leaked back in April 2023. Big Sleep. For those who don't know, I started a third channel to do strictly short form content. I did a Hurry Up Tomorrow tier list. Yeah, and I already know that people are going to be upset with this ranking from the tier list. But if you've been watching my rankings for a while, you know I'm hardly ever persuaded for shit. I stand by Big Sleep being the worst song on the album. Rockin'. I see the Weeknd's fan base very split on the select albums they like. You'll start to understand the type of fan I am throughout this ranking, but as you can see so far, I'm not big on Starboy or Don FM.
Know you see me working, nigga, champagne.
Live For. First Kissland song to make it to the list. Should not be surprised that Live For is the lowest. Love to Lay. Could possibly sample Radio Gaga by Queen, since the instrumentals are similar.
Those old time stars.
I Heard You're Married. Not really sure why Lil Wayne's on the track. He doesn't really add anything valuable. Gifted. Abel's good. Why the mixing ass though? Also, I'm still waiting for you to name 5 solo French Montana songs. Nothing Without You. On April 4th, 2014, Abel teased a song in a now deleted tweet. Track was released in good timing because of his split with Bella Hadid. Unfazed. The Weeknd brought Lil Uzi Vert on tour early in his career. Uzi even made a pretty unknown song called EXO Tour Life. Yeah, a lot of people don't even know that EXO Tour Life is referencing The Weeknd. Abel is one of 3 artists on Love Is Rage 2, and while Uzi kills his verse, this is one of the weaker tracks, and it's because of The Weeknd's hook. Like, I used to make fun of this hook. I'm unfazed. I'm unfazed. It's very laughable. Coming Out Strong. The 2 most romantic artists in the music industry, for sure. Price on My Head. Nav is signed under XO, but honestly, I like him and Uzi more as a duo than him and Abel. Attention. Joji's Attention better, but the bridge in the track is my favorite part.
Watch me burn it down.
Power is Power. Single for the Game of Thrones soundtrack. The title is a reference to the scene that took place in the first episode of the show's 2nd season.
Knowledge is power.
Seize him. Power is power.
The instrumental sounds very similar to Pray For Me for the Black Panther soundtrack. We Still Don't Trust You. The Weeknd was officially done from doing any more features in the future, but he decided to come out of that retirement just so he could be part of the Drake beef. If you're not educated on the beef, I made a whole video on it. This track's more of an intro. He takes shots on another track. Initiation. Weird track. I like the pitch changes throughout the song. The message kinda unclear to me. Him saying my boys could either be his XO crew running on a train on a girl or a supply of drugs from the sound of the track. Very odd song, but I do listen to it time to time. Bedtime Stories. Ray Stremmerd was on the Weeknd's Legends of the Fall tour, which the track was created by the end of the tour. And I moved this song up a lot in my ranking since I've been re-listening to it. One Right Now. I reacted to Hurry Up Tomorrow on my weekly second channel, and I made a comparison that One Right Now and Give Me Mercy sound similar. It sounds like that Post Malone song. Fucking up my feelings. You know what I'm talking about? And yeah, they do have similar hooks. Soy Paulo. I probably butchered that again. After going through the album, I now appreciate this track more, because previously I would have ranked it much lower. The music video is probably the weirdest shit I've ever seen. Try Me, Selena Gomez. False Alarm. Most hated and secretly loved songs. I'm in the middle. The first person music video is really cool. Prisoner. Even though I don't like Stargirl, Lana and Abel are a really good duo, even if I don't have this song very high. Nothing Compares. First previewed on IG Live of March 27th of 2020 to around 50,000 people. A lot of new EXO fans were trying to get him to say something in the live, which was kind of funny, because you know damn well he's not saying shit, and just letting the music do the talking. All the songs I just mentioned fall into the mid-tier, so the tracks that are listenable, but not something I play frequently. But from here on now, the rest of the tracks are at least good. All I Know. Even though it's not high, Future's money tone has always complemented Abel's vocals so well. Chemistry is definitely there. Drive. Pretty basic song. I can be in the mood for it time to time though. The Fall. Abel reflects on his status and states he will be alright if he fails or falls off because he's already been at the bottom. The EXO part in the outro is my favorite part. Repeat After Me. Nice production from Tame Impala. Final Lullaby. Another track previewed from that Instagram live stream. Likely many after-hour songs are referring to Bella Hadid. Take My Breath. Was never that crazy about this single. Take My Breath shows a lot of retro nostalgia from the late 90s combined with elements of psychedelic pop, which sets up the entire theme for Dawn FM. The track was teased multiple times and even used as promo for the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games. It was also used in the Weeknd's Nightmare Trilogy announcement, which was a Halloween Horror Night event at Universal Studios in 2024. Creepin'. Metro Boomin's promo is always fun, teasing Abel with an alternative cover, then a comic-styled one. The track heavily samples Mario Winnen's I Don't Wanna Know. Creepin' also has a remix featuring, well, I'm not gonna say his name. Let's just say he's from the Donkey Kong universe. Tell Your Friends. Debuting live in Las Vegas, being produced by Kanye West and Mike Dean. Tell Your Friends dropped days before Beauty Behind the Madness, alongside a video featuring Real Life. My cousin said I made it big and it's unusual. She tried to take a selfie at my grandma's funeral. Abel's grandmother helped raise him, so when he came back home and came back to her funeral, family and friends have been so intrigued and overwhelmed by his fame. Remember You. Fucking Hoes. Enemy. The first solo song released in 2012. However, it's since been deleted by Abel. Double Fantasy. Sounds like a Starboy throwaway. Future has a really good verse.
Bad in you, that's what I want. And you a baddie, you turning me on. Fiend for your demons, I know what it's.
shake them off. You can follow your dreams.
Past that, I used to love this song, but over time, I lost a lot of love for it. It was a surprise drop on Christmas Day alongside Low Life with Future. Abel made the announcement on X or Twitter, but unfortunately, I can't provide any Twitter info in this ranking because he deleted all of his old tweets. Jealous Guy. The Weeknd remixed John Lennon's Jealous Guy.
I'm just a jealous guy.
And I was toxic to someone else.
Off the Table. A seriously underrated duo with chemistry similar to Abel and Lana, yet it doesn't get talked about enough. Curve. Abel really made this his own track on the feature. Curve is produced by EXO affiliate Nav, the GOAT. Christmas Blues. Not a fan of Christmas music. Mariah Carey has really ruined every coffee shop during the winter, but I do like this track. Ultra Myself. Abel's part is definitely referring to the beef with Drake, with lyrics like, I thank God I never signed my life away. Drake attempted to sign Abel to his label OVO, however, Abel ultimately signed to Republic Records, which created tension for years. That's just a very brief summary. Again, I have a video about it if you want to know more. W promo. Kind of crazy how even when Abel is dissing someone, it just sounds like the most beautiful sounding diss I've ever heard. Echoes of Silence. Simple yet powerful closure for the trilogy, which ended up being replaced by Till Dawn. Gone. This is the only song from the trilogy that Abel completely freestyled, which is wild considering it's the longest song in his discography, clocking in at 8 minutes and 12 seconds. Thursday. Abel basically hooks up with this girl on Thursdays after partying, but otherwise he ignores her. She's unaware of his weekly actions and wants to be his lonely star. You get it? Open Hearts. People were really overhyping the hell out of this track. It's nowhere near one of the best tracks on Hurry Up Tomorrow, in my opinion. The immersive music experience was available on the Apple Vision Pros at select Apple stores months before the album. Gasoline. I was genuinely scared hearing the intro for the first time, mainly because of the deep voice at the start just wasn't ready for the drastic change for the album. Thankfully, he brings it back with his iconic vocals. I was pretty excited for that. Starry Eyes. I know a lot of Dawn FM fans love this song. I think it's alright. Opening Night. It's literally just a verse, but I like it. Chronically Online. Hurt You. More Bella Hadid material. Surprisingly, there's samples from two of his highest charting songs, Starboy and I Feel It Coming. The cadence on this track sounds a lot like the singing on his track Pray For Me.
She make a mess and she clean up. She call it
Better Believe. It might have been a throwaway from After Hours, but I'm surprised I actually enjoyed this. I'd rank it higher if it was shorter with just Abel and Young Thug. Without a Warning, and the crowd will feel my pain. Hope You'll Love Me Till My Final Day. Really just see this track as Abel looking back at everything he's done up until the end of his career. The track samples Hurry Up Tomorrow by the Neurons. The Birds Part 2. After The Weeknd says the Thursday girl fell for a bird, the track unfolds with sounds of a gunshot, crying, and crows. The girl seems to shoot at something, likely The Weeknd himself, though it's left unclear. I used to prefer part 2, but now I find part 1 much stronger due to its material and sound. The song samples Topley Bird's Sandpaper.
Sandpaper kisses, paper cut bliss. Always getting high, cause my confidence low.
Love in the Sky. Only the second Kissland song on the list so far. So yes, I am a big fan of this album. A short portion video of this song was released on YouTube. Lonely Star introduces Valeria, aka the Thursday girl, into the story. Trust Issues. Surprise YouTube drop, which is a cover of Drake's 2011 track. There's also another version with Justin Bieber. I personally really like the mashup with all three artists.
They might have me slipping, you're the only one.
Only attention, alone I left you.
Red Tear. The music video features an unsettling animated version of The Weeknd as a child. Recently, he's expressed interest in becoming a parent after not wanting to through his whole career. He's even stopped using drugs to focus on his hopeful future family.
From behind, fucking with their clothes on, put it to the side.
I'm good. Kissland throwaway. Let me just say the Kissland unreleased is really good. I personally really love the original version for this track, which was called Come Through.
Got gold, got chains, got hoes, got cribs, got niggas that'll die for a prince. Come a city on lock,
I really wish it dropped. One of Those Nights. Again, another Kissland throwaway, and I like the original better. What You Need. Every friend I've shown House of Balloons to never liked this song. Don't really think it's a song for casual listeners. The original version of What You Need sampled Aaliyah's Rock the Boat. However, it was the only sample not cleared for Trilogy's release, and it was removed. Dancing in the Flames. Abel must have gotten a bag from Apple, because Dancing in the Flames didn't even make the final album, even though it seemed to be the lead single. Love Through Her. Abel often references sleeping with someone while thinking of another girl, and this track is the first example of that. One of the Girls. I didn't expect this song to become as popular as it did. Pray For Me. Featured in the movie Black Panther. I'm not a huge listener of this track, but I won't rank it lower because it is a solid track. The Tribal Call vocals is pretty fun.
3 a.m. sunset, frying like a phoenix.
Enjoy the Show. Future is vulnerable in this track. This is not normal. Hurricane. Kanye originally sang The Weeknd's part, and Ye tweeted that Lil Baby was his favorite rapper, yet he wouldn't work with him. Then we got this lead single for Donda, which should have been Kanye's retirement album. Adaption. Abel shared a snippet via YouTube with audio of him singing in the studio. I actually moved this song up several spots while doing this ranking. The track samples The Police's Bring On The Night. Coming Down. Samples a scene from Japanese voice actor Ayako Kazasumi, might have butchered that, in the anime Fate/Stay Night. X-Ray. These raw, underproduced tracks sound so good to me for some reason. Call Out My Name. Ooh, this ranking's gonna upset some fans. Personally, I think it's one of his most overrated songs. TikTok definitely played a part in that. The track samples his hit song Earned It, and the lyrics are more than likely about Selena Gomez. Superhero Rescue You. Sorta cheesy, but that's why I also kinda love it. Crew Love. Originally a solo Weeknd track, like many Trilogy songs. The Weeknd had a huge amount of creative control and influence over this album, and was basically a ghostwriter throughout many songs on the project. That's probably why Take Care is easily my favorite Drake album. In Vain. No longer a Rick Ross track. Abel did his thing on this song. I did appreciate Ross's verse though. Rather Lie. One of the best tracks on IM Music, though Cardi got the weaker feature swap. The Weeknd's chorus has a Drake-like flow, but both delivered. Reflections Laughing. Hearing this without a feature spoiler is always the way to go. Yo! The girl in the voicemail is Cherry 22.
Staying up all night, cooped up in that hotel.
An R&B singer signed under XO. Save Your Tears. Another controversial ranking. Yes. I think this track's slightly overrated. A snippet dropped in July 2019 and the app Shazam spoiled its name and placement on After Hours. There's also a remix with Ariana Grande. The Zone. I'll be making love to her through you, so let me keep my eyes closed. I've already mentioned The Weeknd has plenty of lyrics like this, but man, these 3 mixtapes are next level toxic. Drake also had a good verse on this track. Party Monster. Features additional vocals from Lana Del Rey, like Selena, ass shaped like Selena. Bruh. Odd Look, party banger. Hawaii. I didn't expect to like this track as much as I did. His Spanish singing was actually solid. Drake should take notes after whatever the fuck that was on his collab album. Given Up on Me. The first part of the song is produced by Metro Boomin and was featured in a beat making tutorial which he uploaded to his YouTube channel in late 2023.
I found this cool rising sound and atmosphere.
I'll always be there for you, girl. I have no shame.
Shameless, one of the few songs that is mainly acoustic. The outro's fun.
I always look the other way. I'm blind.
In Your Eyes. I don't got much to say about this song, so I'll just mention how I love the short film for this album. I was already hyped enough for this project, but the trailer took it to another level. In the trailer preview tracks like In Your Eyes. I Was Never There. Freaky ass instrumental.
Always from me. Just sacrifice.
Wonderlust, arguably the most Michael Jackson-esque song on Kissland. First listen, I would have had it in great section, but I do really like it. I even know some Weeknd fans that have this as one of their favorite songs. Now, while all those songs I just named were good, we're now diving into the body of tracks I consider great. Moth to a Flame, introduction to Don FM sound. Videos of the song live seem really cool. Same Old Song, about an old girlfriend who did him wrong and she wants him back now that he's famous. Juicy J's featured in the song, but thankfully he just talks at the end with no verse, with some very silly commentary.
Man, the Weeknd music make the ladies' panties get wet.
Where You Belong, a forgotten banger, overshadowed by the other single Earned It from the 50 Shades of Grey soundtrack.
That's real life.
Real Life. I first started becoming a non-casual Weeknd listener around 2018, and for a while, this and Angel from Beauty Beyond the Madness were my favorites, until I discovered the trilogy and the rest of his discography. Until I Bleed Out marks the end of Abel's journey in After Hours, with the album's conclusion symbolizing that he's exhausted, running out of blood, effort, and emotion, which has him dying at the end of the track, creating the new era being Don FM. Miss You. These deluxe After Hours songs on some true heartbreak shit. Damn. Rolling Stone can be seen as a letter to his early fans that he recognizes he's going to blow up, so they should love him before everybody does, and one of 3 acoustic songs off the project.
Girl, come show me your true colors.
True Colors, a simple yet catchy track. I love how Abel uses colors to enhance the mood and as an artist. I praised The Weeknd's eye for color theory in an older video, very underrated video of mine, I recommend that one. I personally care a lot about album covers as a music listener, and I love how he explains it in this track with colors. How Do I Make You Love Me? The animated music video seems to reference The Weeknd's next album. Some dance pop fun. Heaven or Las Vegas? It's hell. I don't like Vegas. The track may take inspiration from the Cocteau Twins, who released the album Heaven or Las Vegas. Abel has referenced their work before, sampling them on The Knowing off House of Balloons. Hardest to Love. The track's instrumental belongs to the genre of liquid drum and bass, a popular subgenre of electronica that rarely appears in mainstream pop music. Lust for Life. I'm used to The Weeknd carrying pop tracks, but the energy here is incredible. Truly the best woman and man duo.
Bitches owe you favors. Pussy so good.
Or Nah. If we were ranking the most freakiest songs of all time, this might be one. Popular. Metro Boomin teased his album Heroes and Villains with a tracklist sneak peek, where fans spotted Popular and a note saying, Need Abel. The song later appeared on the Idol soundtrack. The bisexual, deadbeat, mysterious vampire briefly returned to Instagram after his December 22 arrests, sharing a FaceTime screenshot with The Weeknd, sparking excitement for the collab. I can't wait to get there. Abel's vocals are so smooth that casual listeners don't even realize the song's about the Drake beef. Devil May Cry. Beautiful. Mainly it's an acoustic song for the Hunger Games soundtrack. Wasted Times. Hard to tell what's about Bella and what's about Selena. This one's more than likely about Bella. Pray for Love. This was ranked at 49 on my Travis ranking.
I'm from the Scar Town City, no love from the town where a nigga never.
Rambo. Yes, I'm biased towards Abel rapping. Fill the Void. Lily Rose Depp was great, but Abel's back end on the chorus was the best part. Timeless. I honestly think Cardi was better on the track over Abel. The song was first performed in Soy Paulo, where Cardi's lyrics were different. A clear nod to Lil Uzi Vert. This might have been to stir a buzz about the two again, but the official version later changed the lyrics out of Cardi's pettiness. Luckily though, Uzi was on Cardi's album. I was really happy about that. Appointment. The Weeknd discovered his sound surprisingly early in his career. Sounds so good, even with the messy production. Secrets. Originally intended as a country song.
Fuck country music, motherfucker!
The track was later transformed into a new wave soul style by the producers. I wasn't a big Secrets fan at first, but doing this ranking helped me give a better listen to this great track. Material Girl. Apparently there's a music video for this song, though I can't fully confirm it's official, but the video only has about 5,000 views. Nomads, one of Abel's best features. It's from the Kissland era, one of my favorites. Blinding Lights, the most streamed song of all time, sitting at a staggering 4.7 billion streams in just 5 years. Blinding Lights has won so many awards that I don't even want to list them all, so I'll just make a sticky note for them. While I love the 80s inspired synths and drum patterns similar to Starboy's direction, I don't think it's a crazy call to call it overrated. I mean, it's the biggest song ever, but definitely not his best. And that's very clear from this ranking. Here, I'm just using this as promo for my Discord. The best way to talk to me is through this server. We have events all the time, so join up. The invite link is in the description.
Oh my, what a wonderful time.
Wonderful, ranked at 46 in my Travis ranking. Too Late, beautiful production. After Hours in general got my favorite production. Sidewalks. Both Abel and Kendrick reflect on their humble beginnings, with Abel sharing his life story, running away from home and being homeless to eventually breaking records while asserting he made it on his own. Daniel Wilson's post-chorus is my favorite part.
Take your clothes off, a chance like this, you may never get to show.
Loft Music. The track samples 2008's Gilla from Beach House. This is the second time Abel sampled a Beach House track, the first time being on The Party and the After Party. The first half of the song is about hooking up with some freaky girl, while the second half shifts to a more atmospheric vibe with Abel's vocals, making it sound really cool. Next, this song's about how the popularity of his music has got him girls, but he knows they're only out to get him because he's the next big thing. Abel told Complex, "That's an artist song. If you're an artist, you can relate to that record, especially if you're in the hip hop world. Next is for you." Speaking of pending fame, he also said, "At the time, I thought I'd be a punk star, grow my hair out, acne on my face, super fucking skinny. I was looking at artists like Iggy Pop and the Raymonds or Afropunk, but you evolve and realize your potential. And then it's like, fuck yeah, let's go." Take Me Back to LA, one of the few tracks that wasn't new, but was actually previewed during the After Hours era. It's even more interesting considering he has a track from that called Escape from LA. DD. The Weeknd and MJ comparisons become even more real with this cover of Michael Jackson's Dirty Diana. Abel said Dirty Diana is my favorite song of all time. It is literally my #1. It takes all these genres and put it into a song. Rock, experimental, hip hop, R&B. It's why I wanted to write these dope songs. In the Night. Though upbeat in tempo, In the Night explores into dark themes, telling the story of a survivor of childhood sexual abuse and has become a sex worker as an adult to try to numb her pain, but facing reminders of her trauma. The Weeknd also mentioned in New York Times that the song was inspired by Michael Jackson. When played for the music publisher Ron Perry, he excitedly shouted, "It's Billie Jean! It's Billie Jean!" Wake Me Up creatively samples the intro of the main title from Scarface soundtrack. And you can clearly hear the inspiration from Michael Jackson's iconic Thriller. Kind of crazy the last 3 rankings I mentioned MJ. That just shows his influence on Abel. 6 Feet Under. The Weeknd has been a Future fan since House of Balloons, so I'm glad we've gotten so many iconic collabs between them. As a huge Future fan, I love seeing him as a feature in these superstar pop artist tracks. It happens quite a bit. Give Me Mercy. Like a lot of tracks in Hurry Up Tomorrow, it expands on personal struggles with religion. This song marks a coming to God moment for The Weeknd, as he seeks forgiveness for his past and aims to improve moving forward. Birthday Suit. I know some of you might be confused why I have some of these early tracks ranked so high. As a longtime XXXTentacion fan, I appreciate the raw, messy production, and that's why I rank some of these songs so high. Baby, you can have it all. EXO The Host. EXO anthem right here. Used as an interlude for initiation, and it samples a song from the 1600s from George Frederick. The Birds Part 1. This song is preceded by the unreleased interlude The Warning, or The Birds Interlude, which The Weeknd performed live during the Trilogy era. He told a fan he'd release it, but never did. The Weeknd has a radio show called Memento Mori on Apple Music, and he previewed the interlude on episode 16.
I've been getting a lot of requests to play The Birds Interlude. Unfortunately, that song was exclusively made for the live Trilogy tour, and the only version that exists is the version we have on YouTube, so I'll be playing that version instead. I Feel It Coming. No, the hook's lyrics are not what you might expect, though it's understandable to assume that, given the type of artist that Abel is. I Feel It Coming is actually about wanting more from a relationship, despite his unusual attitude towards love. The song stands apart from The Weeknd's usual style, and once again, it is compared to Michael Jackson. The track would have been nowhere near as great without Daft Punk. Snow Child was originally my favorite song off After Hours my first listen. Scared to Live. First previewed on Saturday Night Live, wearing the iconic After Hours fit as well. Post-chorus is my favorite part. Privilege. I love this track. It's supposedly about Selena Gomez, and I enjoy the Matrix reference in the chorus. It's a simple song, but I do listen to it a lot. Alone Again. Abel reflects on substance abuse and an overdose scare, seeking his lover's help to find himself again. This was After Hours opener that Abel even previewed. Valerie. This is the only song on Thursday, possibly in the entire trilogy, that avoids significant references to drugs, alcohol, or sex. He even calls out the Thursday girl by name, being Valerie. I dated a girl with the same name, so this hits even harder. And no, you won't be able to find anything, you silly humans. Fuck a skinny model right before her one-way show. Drunken Love. Birthday Drop by Abel. The Weeknd flips Beyonce's Drunken Love by focusing more on being drunk than in love, taking a more literal approach to the drunk and faded side of the song. Beyonce and Jay-Z's version is really good, but I'm obviously biased towards Abel's version, especially with his rapping sequence to the track. Wanna fuck a skinny model right before her runaway show. A lot of people like to use this lyric for when Bella Hadid and Abel saw each other for the first time after their breakup, during Bella's Victoria's Secret runaway show. Low Life. The two most toxic men in the music industry. And with this collab, it definitely shows it with the lyrics. I've been on the Molly and them Zans with your daughter. If she catch me cheating, I won't ever tell her sorry. Easily the Weeknd and Future's most iconic collab. The Town. The second verse with the build up and then the vocals coming, that's my favorite part. Do It. My favorite song from The Noise. Again, it's early, but this track still holds up and it's insanely catchy. False Idols. I forgot to write for this song, so I'm here after the editing. Originally, I had it in perfect section, but moved it down. No particular reason why it dropped from the perfect section. Songs just get ranked like 4 times before I lock in a spot for them. But False Idols is great though. Easily the best on the Idol. Abel and Lil Baby both deliver top tier rapping performances. Definitely worth a listen if you haven't heard it. Montreal. I love the melodies and the instrumental. And it also samples a song by France Gall. The track's name is more than likely called Montreal because Abel recorded the entirety of Echoes of Silence in the city. Now, we reach to the point of the video that from here on now, I consider the next 39 tracks as 10 out of 10 perfect.
What does it mean? Oh.
Professional. What an amazing way to open up an album. Full 6 minutes diving into multiple parts. Really cool listening experience. Less Than Zero. Nod to 1987's Less Than Zero, starred by Robert Downey Jr. Definitely a fan favorite from Don FM. Cry For Me. I think this got potential to eventually be one of The Weeknd's biggest songs. I loved it first listen. Can't Feel My Face. Innocent me just thought this was a fun love song. Nope, it's about coke. I knew I was going to be a Weeknd fan after hearing this and The Hills on the radio. Can't Feel My Face has clear Michael Jackson influence, which definitely left a good impression on older generations hearing him for the first time. High for this. The start for one of the most influential albums ever. The first line, you don't know what's in store, but you know what you're here for. Close your eyes, lay yourself beside me. Abel's persuading a girl to try drugs for the first time, but it also mirrors new listeners entering his world with the opening lines of his debut mixtape. It sets the tone, and he wants you to feel relaxed whether through drugs or his music. The Knowing, the closer on House of Balloons. It's dark and it's an amazing track. Also has the most unique styled video while also being his first music video. Niagara Falls, catchiest song from Hurry Up Tomorrow. This samples Someone to Love by John B.
LA girls all look the same. I can't rap.
Escape from LA. Another track referencing a 90s movie, this being John Carpenter's Escape from LA, while also nodding to 2 Keanu Reeves films. This dark after hours song reflects on Abel's regrets as an adult. House of Balloons / Glass Table Girls. Many tracks on Trilogy have 2 parts, and both were essential in this one. In the first part, Abel references his old house on 65 Spencer, which inspired House of Balloons. He told Rolling Stone, we'd throw these shitty parties and have girls over, and we'd try to make it celebratory, so we'd have balloons. The second part is the drug activity of it. We even got to hear this song at the Super Bowl. The track samples an 80s track called Happy House. Starboy, the start of a new era for The Weeknd, cutting the hair, reinventing his sound, and tearing down what he built. Many EXO fans were not happy with his shift towards mainstream pop. Starboy, the album, still remains mixed among his fans. There's also a comic book from Marvel over this album, and I feel like not a lot of people know that. I love this song, but sometimes I just think of the parody from the last time the Dallas Cowboys were good.
How about them Cowboys?
Antonio Brown also did a Can't Feel My Face cover. What a time.
I got it.
She gon' give it up, 'cause you know I might know mine. She gon' give it.
King of the Fall. This single somehow didn't make Beauty Behind the Madness track list, but what a banger though. Talks his shit and of course has some freaky lyrics to it.
Make all of them swallow, all of them swallow, all of them swallow. I'll get you touching on your body.
Acquainted. Originally recorded as Girls Born in the 90s. Acquainted was re-recorded and retitled after it was leaked, which went viral because that was the time he dropped In the Night and I Can't Feel My Face. Some people still prefer the OG, but I think they're just trying to be different. Belong to the World. One of the most atmospheric tracks from Abel, just behind 2 tracks from After Hours. Truly pulls you into his world. I once considered making a Kissland appreciation type video, and songs like this heavily influenced how I plan to animate and edit it. Then the Drake beef happened, so I decided to scrap it. But maybe one day. The track samples Machine Gun by Portishead. Tears in the Rain. I'ma be real, I used to think this was The Weeknd's most overrated song he's ever made, but over the years, I've come to really appreciate it. The song was inspired by a scene from Blade Runner.
Like tears in rain.
I've seen Tears in the Rain as a lot of girls' favorite track from Abel. Wicked Games. If Beauty Beyond the Madness wasn't your first introduction to The Weeknd, this probably was. Wicked Games was his first song to hit the radio and remains a favorite for many fans. Die For You. 1000% about Bella Hadid. While it was already a big hit, it had a huge resurgence around 2021 thanks to TikTok, leading it to re-enter the Billboard charts and eventually becoming the #1 song on Billboard, with the help of a new remix with Ariana Grande, now becoming one of his biggest songs ever. Lost in the Fire. You said you might be into girls, said you're going through a phase, keeping your heart safe. Well, baby, you can bring a friend, she can ride top of your face while I fuck you straight. Yeah, controversy for that line for sure. Makes it even more interesting because this was about his girlfriend Bella at the time. I hope you find somebody to love. Angel. At one point, this was my favorite song by him. Pretty. The chorus says, and you will never feel so pretty, and you will never feel this beautiful when I make it there. It gives off some toxic pretty boy vibes, and while that's partially true, the music video has Abel taking a flight to kill his significant other. Like a pro, baby. Outside. The small amount of Outside fans will be really happy with this. It's very underappreciated, and it's definitely a track you need to hear if you haven't already. It's truly an amazing song. Is There Someone Else? This instrumental is majestic. As You Are. Yes, I know there's fans of this track out there. Again, it's another underappreciated track. I feel like it has 3 distinct sections, the verses, the interlude, and the outro, but they all come together perfectly despite their differences. The production on As You Are is fantastic, and I'm surprised the track isn't more popular. The Abyss. My favorite track production-wise from Hurry Up Tomorrow. Lana's part reminds me a lot of the track Angel, just some vocals near the end of the track. Out of Time. The music video co-stars Sae Byok, the star from Squid Game, also known as Korean Zendaya, also known as my wife. We also get Jim Carrey in the outro. While I do love Is There Someone Else, Out of Time easily takes the spot for my favorite song off Dawn FM. 28. Quick flex, but the first time I ever listened to the full trilogy was at the gym around 9 p.m. and it was pretty much empty. Best listening experience I could have ever gotten for these 3 mixtapes. And this is also The Weeknd's 28th song ever released. Some of my favorite vocals from Abel are on this track. Love Me Harder. I hope you're not rolling your eyes at this, because this track is a banger, okay? And it really helped put The Weeknd on the map, coming out just a couple months before Beauty Beyond the Madness. Ariana was amazing on this track with her fine ass, and the chemistry between the two was spot on. Yes, I have it high on my list. This is my ranking. This track is fire. Voices will tell me that I should carry. Baptized in Fear. The Weeknd explores guilt and regret, feeling trapped by his past mistakes. The song delves into how fear and self-awareness can consume you, capturing his struggle and frustration in his religious beliefs, trying to escape that inner darkness. Often. There's actually a demo version, and I personally love hearing leaked studio sessions from artists. While most of the track was likely written, it's really interesting to hear the artists experimenting with sounds, mumbling over the beat as they try to fit words into the melodies. It's even cooler when you start hearing elements that make it into the final track. Hurry Up Tomorrow, a perfect way to close out his legacy. This outro track feels like a farewell to his fans, with the ending even transitioning into High for This from his first mixtape. Till Dawn, Here Comes the Sun. Abel leaves the trilogy, leaving room rekindling with Valeria. The shift from darkness to dawn reflects in his belief that darkness makes the light feel better, while also hinting at his rise to mainstream success. This is yet again a gem from his discography. I absolutely love this song and still listen to it all the time. Faith, floating in this track. Faith covers drug addiction, almost flaunting it in a way. In the second half, you can hear ambulance sirens used for the synths reflecting his overdose in the After Hours story. And the atmosphere of the second half definitely helps to portray that feeling. And he also loves being toxic while expressing his addiction. Also, the lyrics, I take half a Xan and I still stay awake, could be a subtle jab at Drake and Travis Scott's Sicko Mode. I did half a Xan 13 hours till I land, had me out like a light. Heartless. What an amazing lead single for After Hours, featuring an amazing chorus with additional Abel rapping on the verses. You just had to be there for the After Hours hype. It was something special. The music video is really colorful and addicting to watch. There's even a remix with my GOAT, Lil Uzi Vert.
She got me confused, I swear she got me mixed up. Girl, you're perfect. Girl, you're perfect. You're always
Earned It. This song's just sexy. It's more of a classy track, blending a variety of instruments in a unique yet perfect harmony. I know a lot of people love it. Kissland. The nearly 8-minute title track might be his most toxic song he's ever made. Starting with the first line, when I get on stage, she swore I was 6 feet tall, but when she put it in her mouth, she can't seem to reach my. Then the bridge, cause the only thing you're taking is your clothes off. Go ahead, girl, strip it down, close your mouth, I just want to hear your body talk. And again, with the first line of the second verse stating, you can meet me in the room where the kisses ain't free, you gotta pay with your body. And all of this is unfolding with screams echoing in the background. While the content may seem perverted or creepy, I love the layers of this track with its harsh production. And when it's combined with rapping Abel, yeah, I'm always going to be more biased towards that. The Hills. I mentioned hearing Can't Feel My Face on the radio, but when I heard this, I knew the Weeknd was different and wasn't like all these other repetitive pop and R&B stars. Apparently, this track was rumored to have 67 different versions. The Morning. This is one of 3 tracks produced by Jeremy Rose, which later led to a rights dispute. Thankfully, the released version differs from Rose's demo, which had pitched down rapping in a faster tempo from the Weeknd's Kane era. While the lyrics remain the same, the build-up and suspense leading into the chorus make the official version a fan favorite among XO fans. The Morning has my favorite chorus from Abel ever. After Hours. From a critical and production standpoint, this is the Weeknd's best song. If it's your number one, it makes perfect sense. But this is my list, and I do have 2 personal favorites ahead of it. And all I wanna do is make that money and make dope shit. It just seemed like Reminder. Every artist has that We Made It song, and for the Weeknd, that's Reminder. The music video showcases tons of celebrities while Abel talks his shit, calling out those copying his old sound, bragging about winning a Kids' Choice Awards for a song about coke, and delivering some of his best rapping. This track has undeniable replay value for me. But now for my number 1 song. Pick up them shoes, I'll race your ass up all them stairs. The Party and the After Party. From my first listen, this has become my favorite song. This track showcases all the things I love about the Weeknd. The first part features laid-back vocals with additional rapping with a beach house sample. Louis V bag, tats on your arms, high heel shoes. The second half blends his vocals into the instrumental, making the track so enjoyable even while being almost 8 minutes long. The Party and the After Party will more than likely always be my favorite song from Abel. So after 216 songs, here's the average scores for his projects, with Dawn FM at the lowest being a 6.3 out of 10, then Starboy at a 6.7, then The Noise and My Dear Melancholy tied at a 7 out of 10, then Thursday at a 7.1, then a bigger jump, Hurry Up Tomorrow at a 7.7, then Beauty Beyond the Madness and Echoes of Silence tied at a 8.1 out of 10, After Hours being at 3, 8.5 out of 10, Kissland 8.6 6 out of 10. Then finally the original mixtape, House of Balloons, at a 9.3 out of 10. So what's your favorite song by The Weeknd? How much do you disagree with my list? I'm sure you'll let me know, but be sure to comment who I should rank next. Now these videos take a while, so if you didn't know, I have a weekly second channel where I do IRL content, and I've been enjoying it a lot. So be sure to check that out. Check out the merch, Discord, Insta, Shorts channel, all that. Goodbye.